Hey guys, it's David here, and it's currently day 287. I hope you guys had a good day and are doing better than yesterday. But the time is currently 5:38. Now, I'm gonna get up now and get right into my first work block because, like yesterday, what I had said that I shouldn't waste all my free time doing things that are superficial. I shouldn't waste all my free time just wasting it away and not doing anything that is worthwhile. And although yesterday I didn't have the best sleep, sleeping now and taking a nap won't do me any good, but only delay my purpose, only delay myself from reaching my goals. So, all I want to say is let's not waste a single of our moment and complain about we don't have enough time in the world. Because we don't have time simply because we don't want to make the time for ourselves. So, let's take control of our mind, take control of our life, and get right into what is important to us. I'll see you guys in a bit.
So, guys, it is around 11 a.m., and I am very happy to say that I have been productive at writing my project, and it is quite amazing to see that how much we can actually accomplish if we just put our mind and focus towards doing something. And certainly in the last 3 hours, I have completed every single step that I had wanted to implement into this project. So, what I had to do now is just to do some animations and just make it come to life a bit. But before I do that, I am gonna go have a workout, get that out of the way, and come back and just spend the time and effort into making that possible. Although writing animations and doing other things in this project is something I have not done before, so it is going to be a learning process for me, which is going to be the whole point of self improvement is to improve on your craft and improve on your skills every single day. It is definitely not to accept defeat as it is, and it simply isn't to accept obstacles as it is and try to avoid obstacles because obstacles is a sign and an opportunity for you to get better. If you don't face any obstacles, for say, then are you really learning and challenging yourself to become better than yesterday? And if the answer is no, I don't face obstacles, then perhaps you are a bit complacent and perhaps you are just avoiding overcoming yourself and perhaps you're just avoiding your brilliance, which is a topic I want to talk about before I go to the gym. And that is a lot of the times we are actually afraid to grow because we are afraid what success might bring us. And the irony is that we all want to be successful, we all want to be rich, we all want to be wealthy, but a lot of us are scared of what that might bring us. And I can say this, and I do believe other people feel like this simply because every time I self sabotage, every time whether I relapse on pornography or when I relapse on drugs or when I just start doing nothing and just waste my time, it is simply because I'm afraid of what happens if I stay consistent or what happens if I suddenly get wealthy or what happens when I get a lot of views on YouTube. And it's just the thought that I might become someone that I'm not familiar with, that I might become someone different, that scares me, right? That scares me, which is why I self sabotage, not because I like doing it, but because I am comfortable being myself. And that being someone else that you have never been before is a very scary feeling. Not only are you tackling this uncertain identity, but you are also facing new people. You are essentially leaving the people you know behind in your life. And that also can be a very scary feeling. Like, how is it that you suddenly become successful, or that you might become someone different, that you have to leave the people you know behind, that you have to leave this environment behind, and perhaps go to some other area in life that you have not yet foreseen, that you have not yet touched and felt. So the feeling of success stops us from being successful itself. And a lot of the times I self sabotage simply because I don't know, or I don't know how to endure the success if that does happen to me. So I cut myself short of my brilliance before I had the chance to see my brilliance. I cut myself short of my potential before I reach my potential, before everyone else can see my potential. And a real life example at the moment will be to making my YouTube videos. Although I am consistently making YouTube videos, although I am doing the things that I know is going to get me quote unquote successful, I know that I could definitely put in more effort into making these videos. I know that I could definitely use different tactics and marketing strategies to get more clicks and get more views. However, a part of me stops me from doing that, and I could say that maybe that part of me is scared of what happens if my channel blows up, or that I am scared of what happens if suddenly I become this role model person that a lot of people depend on me, right? It is always that feeling of the uncertain, or that I am not sure how to deal with the new status, the new position, that stops me from reaching high in life, that stops me from showing the world my brilliance, because I am scared to be known, I am scared to be depended on, and I am scared to be the person who others rely on. And a lot of us cut ourselves short out of brilliance, not because we don't want to become successful, not because we don't want to become rich or wealthy or quit our addictions, but it's because that we are scared and we just want to be ourselves, that we just like to be comfortable where we are now. And this realization made me understand why I self sabotage so much. And understanding this helped me to break free from this complacency act of being comfortable with who I am. Because a long time I used to think that I self sabotage because I lack discipline, I lack the willpower, and yes, maybe that is the truth. But a whole other part, the deeper reason why I don't stay consistent, is because I'm afraid of who I will become if I become successful. I'm afraid of the person I will be. And I was afraid that in the moment, in the past moment, that I didn't have the capabilities to live up to that successful person's standards. I always thought I was shy. I always thought that I'm insecure. So, how can this insecure kid hold up a identity of a successful businessman? And because I had this thought in the back of my head, I never really stayed consistent. I never pushed past what I'm comfortable with, because I'm afraid that I won't be good enough. That I'm afraid that I won't be good enough to live up to my potential, or to live up to what I think I'm actually capable of becoming. But I say no. I say we shouldn't think that we are not good enough or we are inadequate to become the person we want to be, and that we should stop cutting ourselves short from our brilliance simply because we are afraid of becoming the person we truly want to become. And that really is the irony, guys. We are scared of our own success, and we are scared of what success might brings us, that stops us from becoming successful in the first place. So really have a good think about your life choices and decisions day to day, is what I suggest you guys do today. Because maybe now with this revelation, you'll think that maybe I am stopping myself from being consistent. Maybe I am stopping myself from being consistent, or that I am falling back into old routines simply because I'm scared of becoming the person I want to be. And understanding this, and understanding that this may be the truth, will allow you to tackle this problem at a much more deeper level. And by doing so, you will appreciate yourself for having the abilities to stay consistent, and that the only thing stopping you is the stories you are telling yourself that is not true. The stories that you're telling yourself based on the fear of your own capabilities, which is also not true. That being said, I'm gonna go have an amazing chest workout and just see exactly if I am overtrained, because last week I have strong signs of overtraining, and last night I had a very horrible sleep. So it is hard to tell exactly, but definitely I am not feeling the sharpest like I have been recently. So it is eminent that mental fatigue is present, and physical fatigue may also be present, as I'm gaining a lot of fat, not really putting on a lot of muscle, and although strength is gaining, but that is perhaps due to my increased fat gain, which therefore means I'm adding weight to my body, which means I'll be able to push more mass. But I'll definitely have to see exactly if I'm overtrained, and today's session might just be another indicator of that. So I'll see you guys in a bit. So guys, the time is currently around 2:20, and I have to say, when I went to the gym today, when I put on some weight on the incline barbell bench press, I just couldn't stay there for long. And after one set, not hitting my last week's weight nor reps, I decided to conclude that I am perhaps overtrained, or that I am a lot of build-up fatigue has happened. So, quick story short, I decided to just leave the gym after my first set. Now, you guys may be saying that, well, shouldn't you at least finish the workout if you're there, or shouldn't you at least try a different exercise? Maybe you just have like a very poor upper chest today. And thinking about it now, perhaps I should have. But anyways, what is done is done. I'm here already, and I just made the mental decision to just take the whole week off. Does this mean that I am wasting a lot of gains on the table, or could I be going backwards in my progress? Maybe I'm wasting gains, maybe, but there's probably a higher chance of me overtraining, and then I'll be losing more gains. So I could be regressing even more if I'm not careful. Now, perhaps this makes sense as to why recently I have less willpower to do the things I want to do, or to do the things that is hard. And this is perhaps why lately I have been having these very, very weird thoughts. Like, I'm having these thoughts of relapsing on drugs, and just kind of doing things that I totally would regret. And I have to be honest that lately I managed to stay away from that, simply because I know it's not going to solve the problem, right? You will feel good in the moment, but afterwards, guys, you will be the worst off if you didn't do it. So I guess it kind of makes sense as to why recently I am feeling as such. Now, I'm not just being a bitch saying, oh, I'm feeling, a bit tired, so let me just stay away from the gym and stuff. Like, no, like, I push hard, like, I train to failure every single set, and perhaps that is why I have overtrained. But it is quite a surprise to me, because it only been really 5 weeks since I hadn't had a week off, and I am not sure exactly if last time I had a deload, it was if I took the whole week off, or I just did like half intensity, pretty much just go lighter at the gym. Now, if I did take a whole week off, then I'm very concerned about why it is that I am maybe overtrained now, and that maybe I am not overtrained. But if I did not take a whole week off last time, and I only did like half, like drop half the weight, half the reps, then yeah, maybe it's time for a deload. But either way, guys, I'm gonna have this week off. I'm not gonna change my calories too much, although last week I did increase about a kilogram of body fat or body weight, which means I'm mostly putting on fat. So I dropped my calories about 100 calories a day. So that should be a good start for me to kind of just taper down a bit, because obviously if I increased 1 kilogram last week, and that's a bit too much. So I have to taper it down a little bit. And because I'm not going to train, I'm going to just do some stretching. I'm going to do some recovery exercises and just prime my body, and then also make my body more flexible, so that when next week or this week is over, I can go back to the gym stronger, more flexible, and just in a better mindset. So pretty excited about this, and honestly, who doesn't like to take a week off? It is almost like a small holiday pretty much, but I do have work still, and because work started, this maybe also is a contribution as to why I am a bit tired recently. But work itself is not too difficult, nor is it too physically demanding, but it's just that recently I have noticed very, very minimum muscle gain, or perhaps very little or none, and just a lot of fat gain. So this was the main concern as to perhaps I was overtrained. And although yes, fatigue was a little bit high, but mainly because I have been putting on more fat than muscle, which is why I come to conclude that maybe I'm more trained. And the fact that is today I didn't even feel stronger nor perform better despite me putting on like a whole kilogram of weight. That in itself is very, very concerning also. So week off training, that's the plan. That means I'll have much more mental energy to put in towards my project, to put in towards coding. Therefore, I'll have more focus, more discipline, and all of that good stuff to focus on this priority of mine. That being said, it is around 2:30. Gonna go pick up my sister, but when I come back, I'm gonna get right into a second work block, and my goal is to just keep on working until 8 p.m., which I'll be here for you guys tonight. But I just had a lot of carbs, a lot of food. Yes, I made the mistake of eating all my food once again, so I'm a bit cloudy, but that's totally fine because I'm not gonna let that define me because I know even though I may not be focusing or performing at my peak, if I do the work, if I just do a little bit, then that's better than doing nothing. So don't let the actions you have done define you. Don't let the things you have done stop you from doing bigger things in life. Because the only thing and the only person that's stopping you from reaching greatness, it is you. So befriend yourself, stop fighting yourself, and save your energy for the bigger battles in life that eventually will come along the way. I'll see you guys in a minute. So guys, it is currently 6:16 and I managed to finish my second work block, and it is a very, very great feeling because when you put your mind towards something, when you're not wasting your time doing pointless things and you progress in your journey of growth, that is a feeling I cannot explain to you. But it is once you reach closer to your brilliance by putting your full effort into the commitment that is going to make you better, that is when life starts to change for the better. That is when you start feeling more competent and more courage in yourself because you choose to do the right thing every single moment. Now, I have to say that I did make a mistake today by thinking to myself that if I eat all my food when I came back, then I will be fine. If I eat my food, then you know what, it's whatever, right? Because I am immune to brain fog, is what I thought, first of all, but that wasn't the truth. Because after I ate the food, although I felt okay at the start, after 1 hour passed, the brain fog hit me. The carbohydrates hit me, and I was just sitting there, and my brain was just too foggy and I couldn't think, right? It's not like that I can't do anything physically or mentally, that I can't do work or whatever, but if I want to think, if I want to be creative, then that is when I am hit with this roadblock because I just could not think properly. So I think what I'm mainly going to do is I no longer will eat so much food after I come back from the gym or just towards midday because I want to maintain my clarity throughout the day until the end of the day. Like I have been doing a long time ago, but for whatever reason, I have picked up this habit of just eating all my food towards the afternoon. And it is just another attempt to self sabotage so that I don't do any work towards the end of the day. But I need to stop doing that because I want to stop doing that because having the power over your mind to have full clarity of control, that is a very amazing feeling. And there's no reason to hinder our brilliance because we want to avoid the pain. Because quite honestly, guys, I don't think doing the work is painful to me anymore because I have learned to overcome this. I have learned to get better. And most importantly, I stopped telling myself the false story that I don't like to do what I do, that I don't like to code, and that I find coding hard. Yes, there's a lot to learn, but there's no reason to make it more difficult than it already is by saying all these negative reinforcing stories onto ourselves because we think it is something difficult. Because we have to start saying and be positive that we like to do what we do because it is something you should like to do anyways in the first place because it is your purpose, it is your vision in life. So that being said, today has been amazing. Of course, I am not planning to stop my day now because although I ate carbohydrates towards the afternoon, I did have it very early. Therefore, tonight is when my clarity is starting to come back in. Now my mind is starting to sharpen up a little bit, so I am expecting another wave of focus tonight around 7 to 7:30, and that is when I could perhaps just squeeze in another work block and rounding today up to an amazing success simply because I choose to focus all my energy on one task. And that is an absolutely amazing outcome that I wish to achieve today. That being said, I hope you guys had done just as well, if not better. But if you guys have slacked off, that's totally fine because we all slack off. But don't let your failures define you, but learn from your failures so that tomorrow will be much better. So I'll always be here for you guys tomorrow. But until then, have a wonderful night.